Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So I wanted to come on and do a quick reading on what's going on with Poland and Russia right now. So Russia launched some drone attacks on Ukraine, and the drones invaded Polish airspace. Poland scrambled its fighters, activated its defense systems, and I believe shot down a couple of the drones. And they're in the process of recovering these drones right now. Everything's kind of new. I'm sure the reporting will have a lot more details and information tomorrow morning when this video comes out. But for now, I just wanted to take a look at the energy around that. Was this a deliberate tactic by Russia to test how Poland and NATO would react to this? Or was this just an accident for entertainment purposes only? So let's take a look at the energy around this and see what's going on. It's a developing story, obviously. So let's take a look. Okay, so foundation of the reading, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so to me, this is Russia's basically testing whether they felt that they needed to utilize Polish airspace to cut down the distance and time of their attacks, or if they're just seeing, well, will Poland even react if we go over? So they're kind of sitting back and observing to see what would happen. The challenge is the Eight of Pentacles. Once again, so the challenge is, how are they going to react? Are they going to overreact? Are they going to underreact? You know, and so the challenge here is, how should we react? This is probably Poland's reaction. Okay, we've shot down these drones. There's going to be a lot more opportunities for additional drone attacks that are going to, go over our airspace. So how do we react? Energy underneath it, the Devil. This was a planned maneuver by the Russians. This was not accidental. This is just, hey, we're doing what we can to win the war. And, frankly, Putin is not going to be content just with Ukraine. He wants a little more than that prize. So that's the energy underneath it, is just Putin and what his long-term goals are. In the past, you've got the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is about giving a little to try and get a lot back out. Unfortunately, what this could be is, the United States and the NATO countries having all sorts of resources that they could have provided to Ukraine, but they were just giving them a little bit and limiting how much they could use that, because they didn't want to escalate the conflict with Russia. Current energy is the Three of Wands. Okay, so Ukraine gave Poland a heads up that the drones were heading to their airspace. So now this is probably one of the situations where Ukraine is now going to look to the U.S. For their response. How is the U.S. going to respond to this? To this latest Russian aggression? Because, Poland is a NATO country. And right now, they have been very patient with Russia. They could have made up an excuse to go attack Russia last year. But they've kind of used restraint. But at this point, maybe the restraint's done. The overarching energy is the Queen of Pentacles. Take care of your people. Take care of the things that you value. This is about being caring and loving and being protective. And this is what Ukraine is trying to see. Are you going to now take care of us, or honor your agreements with NATO? Lesson to be learned, Knight of Wands. You have to take actions. Actions need to move forward at this point. The outcome, heartbreak and betrayal. Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean no actions are going to be taken, or the actions that are going to be taken are going to be hurtful, or is this, I'm not sure. Let's get a clarifier on that. That's not necessarily the card I was expecting to see at this. What this could be is on the high end, this could be NATO seeing the betrayal and the basically purposely utilizing Polish airspace to attack civilian infrastructure and wanting to take actions to address this. Or it could be that they just don't do anything. So let's get a clarifier. What does the Three of Swords represent? It's about legacy. It's about celebrating. And it's about a kind of a nightmare situation. It seems to me the heartbreak of betrayal is the United States. Trump is worried so much about his legacy, about his peace plan, his Nobel Peace Prize, and he really wants to celebrate that. And he's really upset that he hasn't had an opportunity, which is kind of funny because if they go hardcore on Russia, they could get a peace plan in Russia. But I guess it wouldn't be Trump's peace plan. So let me get, I want to get one more clarifier on this. Let me do a shuffle and I'm going to clarify on this. So stand by. Is the Three of Swords, does this have to relate to Donald Trump and the United States reaction to this situation in Poland? Okay. You know what? Actually, let's just do a whole reading on that. Stand by. I'm going to shuffle these cards, and I don't know if I guess I could entertain you while I'm shuffling. This would be the part of the reading that Dave would be just rolling his eyes and eviscerating me for wasting everyone's time shuffling cards. So I'm going to be out of the country in about 2 weeks. Today's Tuesday the 9th. In 2 weeks, my wife and I, and maybe our son, are going to go to Munich, Germany, and go to the Oktoberfest. So I've got a couple of readings that I'm going to throw an introduction on and then repost. These are readings that we did on the channel back in December, and one of them in March potentially, that either were kind of not, they were readings that I felt were really well done, but maybe didn't get the traction. You guys maybe just weren't quite ready to hear them at that time. Certainly, I was rewatching them, which I'll tell you is a painful experience. I hate rewatching videos that I've done. It's like, oh my God, this is pain. This is torture. But I had to rewatch them and see, are they relevant and how did we do? And I think they were interesting. It's interesting what we were reading and seeing back in December, and here we are, 10 months later, and see how we did. So okay, so now how's Trump and the United States, how are they going to react to this attack? They did the Russian. So let me make this clear. Russia did not attack Poland. Russia invaded Poland's airspace while trying to attack Ukraine. How will the United States react? Okay, so you got the Two of Cups, you got agreements and understandings. You got the Two of Wands. How are we going to react to this? What actions are we going to take? We have to honor our agreements. This could be our NATO agreements. This could be agreements with Ukraine. This could be agreements with Russia. And how do we react? The energy underneath it is the Fool. Are we gonna react foolishly, or is this the Fool as in we are in a new journey? We're on a new path. We're gonna just keep going to see if this starts to become a little more clear. How is the U.S. gonna react? In the past, we got the Hangman. That is for damn sure. We've had the Hangman. This is the U.S. looking at this situation a little differently than most countries. This is Trump, basically praising Putin and trying to kiss Putin's butt saying that Ukraine, basically had this coming, that they invited this attack from Russia. He's definitely looking at this at a different perspective than most other countries. Current energy. There we go. Okay, so that was the outcome. Okay. Heartbreak and betrayal is the current energy. What this could be is Trump's feelings on how Putin has broken promises, how Putin has let him down yet again, because he wants to get a peace with Putin and with Zelensky. He wants the war to end. He wants his Nobel Peace Prize. Putin has just really thrown a wrench into the works, if you will, or if you're in Europe, a spanner into the works. So he's really disappointed with how Putin has comported himself here. That's what that meant. And then the overarching energy is a star, because you're taking my star power away. You're taking away my ability to get my Nobel Peace Prize, which is the one thing I want more than anything else. That and the Epstein case to go away. The lesson to be learned is the Ace of Cups. Now you've really pissed me off. You've got an upwelling of emotion from the NATO members and from Trump, probably, and the United States. What's the outcome of this? Oh, death. Bringing an end to this. We're on a new journey, and we're bringing an end to this situation. When we did the reading on Taco Tuesday with Marina, my reading was basically, this is going to lead to the NATO countries basically telling Russia enough's enough. You need to end this now, or you're going to be fighting NATO because you've now crossed a line. And these cards seem to support that reading I did earlier. That's very interesting. Okay, so now let's do one more read. Will NATO push back on Russia and force Russia to conclude its war activities in Ukraine? Is NATO finally going to step forward? The United States and/or NATO, are they finally going to step forward and take a bold action to end this nonsense? And a bold action is not saying, oh, Putin gets to keep all the land that he grabbed, and Zelensky, you get to rebuild your cities and you get to pay for it. That's not a bold action. Okay, so will the United States and NATO take bold action and force Russia to cease hostilities? Okay, Queen of Swords. You've got a truth. There's a truth out there that needs to be honored. This is what happened, and this is why it happened. This is kind of an internal truth. Oh, and there's the external truth, the King of Swords. Yeah, it's kind of one of those. I think the NATO leaders are now facing their truth, and it needs to reconcile with the overall truth, which is Russia did this, and they did it on purpose. Those are powerful cards. Energy underneath it, Page of Cups. This situation is getting crazy, and we're tired of this. We're tired of this level of crazy that Russia's saying how Ukraine is full of Nazis, and this is their ability. This is their efforts to stomp out Nazism in Ukraine, which is just crazy. We need to end the crazy. In the past, you had the Empress. Hey, Russia getting the support from the United States. This could also be in the past, Ukraine being the breadbasket for all of Europe. But you kind of get that Mother Russia feeling. Mother Russia wants its breadbasket back. Current energy, and there you it's funny how these cards keep dovetailing, right? The outcomes becomes the current energy. It's time to end this. This needs to come to an end. Overarching energy is the Page of Pentacles. It's time for new ideals, time to hold aloft and really value what's important to you. Yeah, basically value life, value sovereignties. Lesson we learn is the world. It's the end of a cycle. It's time for the world to come together and say, enough. This needs to come to an end. Outcome, Page of Swords. Basically, what I'm getting from this, the Page of Swords, we'll take the fight to you. Do you really want to fight all of us? This is going to end now. We want this to end. It's time to start rebuilding and sort of honoring what we believe in. And the world is the end of the cycle, and you got the Page of Swords. It's kind of a youthful feeling. That's interesting because there's not a lot of youths involved in it. You got 2 pages. You got 3 pages in this. That's interesting. Page of Swords. What does the Page of Swords mean? Oh, so the Hierophant is about government, large institutions. So the Page of Swords is related to the government. Maybe it's just we're tired of young people dying. We want our youth to be able to fight another day. So what I'm seeing in these cards, current energy, is this is going to lead to NATO saying enough's enough. That we've had enough of this. This is now ending. And it's going to be a lot more forceful. It's going to be more saber rattling, more than just saber rattling. This is going to be, you need to stop this now because this is going to get out of hand. And we're going to make sure you're not going to like how this ends for you. So that's what I've got. So thank you so much for watching and tuning into this. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell. We'll wake up at midnight with a new one. Leave a comment. I read them all and I respond to many. And unlike those bargain basement Twin Tarot with Gary David channels that don't read comments and don't give shout outs to their viewers, I read the comments and I do give shout outs to viewers. And yes, I actually do read them all. I get comments from people saying, do you really read all the comments? And I usually respond with, why, yes, I do read all the comments, including this one. So let's see. I want to give out a couple shout outs. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I want to give a shout out to Kentucky Belle. Hey, Kentucky Belle, how are you? Kentucky Belle, I believe your name is Michelle, right? Made a very kind contribution to the channel. Totally appreciate it. We don't ever expect contributions, but when we get them, we're really happy with it. We really appreciate that. And you get the sun card. Thank you for making our day bright and sunny. And then that's the only one I've got right now. Let's see. I'll just give a couple of shout outs to the people that are currently in the comments section. How's that? See? That's why you leave comments, right? Hey, it's Crystal Weatherby. Hi, Crystal. She says, hi, David. Hey, David and Gary. Well, hey, Crystal. I hope you're doing good. A card for you. Queen of Cups. Ah, yes. Crystal is the master of her emotions. And let's see. Oh, hey, we got a new commenter. Cecil Justice. Cecil Justice says, thank you, guys. You both rock. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. And you get the star card with the pink bikini top because we don't want these videos banned. And then we'll wrap it up with Patricia King, also known as Ladyfish 99. Hi, Patricia King. I hope you're having a great day. Oh, you leave lots of comments. What did you say today? Your comment made me think of the Billy Mummy episode on the Twilight Zone where he would zap the people away who displeased him, who were not happy and smiling. Yes, good old Billy Mummy, lost in space, huh? The Hermit. So thank you so much. I appreciate your comment. You guys are great. And I love it when you guys are throwing Python references because I'll throw it right back at you there. And then a card for the rest of us. I'll take it right off the top here. Oh, the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, don't feel left out. I try and do shout out as many as I can. Dave gets bored after I do about 3 or 4, so I kind of limit it to 3 or 4. Um, don't worry, you'll get your turn. So I hope you're all having a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.